Hello, welcome to our video lecture for TMFD 313 in lieu of meeting in person on this Thursday. This is Cassidy, and we're going to talk about Chapter 2, Section 4 and 5. This lecture is going to come to you in two parts. We'll cover 2.4 in the first and 2.5 in the second. And just to set the scene of what it looks like at my house while I'm recording, since I know there are some cat ladies in our class, I thought I would share a photo of my kitty. This is Jack helping. He didn't feel like this was a good shot that captured his true essence. One day I was feeling a little down and I decided that starting an Instagram account for my pets would cheer me up. So, if you want to follow their adventures, head over to Jack plus Ginny on Instagram. That's Ginny. She is my boxer pit bull, and she generally goes about everywhere with me except for class. All right, so diving into Chapter 2, Section 4, we're going to discuss point of sale and permanent physical markdowns. So continuing our topic of markdowns. There are two types of markdowns that affect the gross margin differently. We have point of sale, known as POS, and then permanent, also known as physical. It's important for us to understand the gross margin implications of each. In other words, it's important for us to understand how point of sale and permanent markdowns affect the gross margin, which, as we know, then affects our profit or our loss. What is a point of sale markdown? So, most common type of markdown used by retailers today. A point of sale markdown can be temporary and it could change daily, weekly, monthly, etc. With a point of sale markdown, merchandise can revert back to the current selling price and be reduced to a new or a different price. The point of sale markdown could be dollars off of the retail price. It could also be a percentage off. Coupons are an example of a point of sale markdown. POS markdowns are journalized and gross margin affected only when the merchandise is sold. So those numbers are affected only once the customer has purchased the merchandise. Taking a look at how to calculate the point of sale markdowns, we have the total point of sale markdown dollars equals the individual markdown times the units sold. So we're working in dollars here. The activewear buyer is planning a New Year's Get Fit sale. On December 31st, all $69 leggings will be promoted at $49.99. Another way to think of that is all $69 leggings will be reduced or discounted to $49.99. And then on New Year's Day, the $69 leggings will be promoted at 40% off. And here's some details of what's sold on each day. On December 31st, 480 leggings were sold. On New Year's Day, 600 leggings. Now this practice problem is going to ask us to calculate the total point of sale markdown dollars, total sale dollars, and markdown percentage for the sale. So let's dive into the solution. First, we're going to look at total markdown dollars for the point of sale promotion. So we look at the original retail price of $69 and we subtract the new retail price of $49.99. That gives us the markdown dollars of $19.01. We take that times the number of units sold, which was 480, And that gives us the total markdown dollars in the far right hand corner of $9,124.80. So then on, I believe it was January 1st, the leggings that retailed at $69 were going to be discounted at a percentage at 40%. So the markdown dollars were $27.60. This was achieved by multiplying the retail $69 times 40%. 40% as a decimal is 0.40. And we know the units sold were 600. That was given to us in the problem. We take the markdown dollars, $27.60, times the units sold, and that'll give us the total amount of $16,560 on the right hand side. We're going to add those two figures, those two total markdown dollar amounts, to reach $25,684.80. Now, taking a look, the next step in the problem, B, total sale dollars for the point of sale promotion. $49.99 times 480 units sold gives us the total sales of $23,995.20. Original retail price of $69 minus the markdown dollars, $27.60. The new retail price, $41.40 times units sold, and we achieve the number 24,840. We're going to add those two figures to find the total sales, 48,835 and 20 cents. So here we looked for the total markdown in A. In B, we looked for the total sales. So we needed those two figures in order to calculate C, the markdown percentage for the point of sale promotion. Markdown dollars divided by net sales times 100 to give us that percentage. So we took the figure 25,684.80 divided by the total sales times 100 to reach 52.6%. All right, that was point of sale, aka POS. Now let's take a look at permanent or physical markdowns. They're not quite as common as point of sale according to our textbook. Merchandise price is changed permanently, reducing the inventory value. Ticketed price is changed to reflect the new price. So maybe it gets a new price sticker, it's redlined, green-lined, etc. With this, I think of when I shop at Herberger's and I see the hang tag and the original price is crossed out with a red marker and the new retail price is on the tag, the hang tag. One ticket price is changed and price cannot be marked up again. So it is permanent and it is physically done to the hang tag. And generally this is dollar markdowns only. So you'd look at the hang tag and maybe the original price said $49.99 and it was crossed out with a red marker and it said $35.99. So that is an example of a permanent, aka physical markdown. Permanent markdowns are journalized and affect the gross margin immediately. So while point of sale affects the gross margin at the time of sale, the permanent markdown is going to affect the gross margin when it is taken. Permanent markdowns usually are taken after several point of sale markdowns to sell through the product. So a permanent or physical markdown, if you will, could be the last resort in trying to sell the merchandise. So there have already been discounts on it. Maybe there have been coupons, maybe there have been specials, take 40% off this item, and then a coupon, maybe it's buy one, get one 50% off, and the merchandise still didn't sell, so then they went to the permanent markdown. For permanent markdowns, buyers need to know how much is on hand to calculate the markdown, and they create a sell down chart, which we will walk through together. When calculating sales, once product is permanently marked down, this becomes the new starting retail for any additional markdowns. So if there were going to be additional percentages off, that percentage off would come from the permanent markdown. If you go back to that hang tag we were talking about that was crossed out in red, any further discounts would be taken to the red price as opposed to the original retail price. Total permanent markdown dollars equals individual markdown dollars times the number of units on hand. The dress buyer is permanently marking down fall velvet dresses. The buyer purchased 1,000 dresses and only 100 sold at the regular price of $150. The first permanent markdown was to $129.99, and then 200 sold. The second permanent markdown was taken to $99, and then 500 sold. Calculate the total markdown dollars for the dresses and the total sales dollars and the markdown percentage. So first, you create a sell down chart, plugging in the information that you received from the problem. 1,000 units purchased, the original retail price of $150. We see the number of units that were sold at that $150 price. And then we subtract those to give us the units that are on hand. And then the first permanent markdown to $129. We see 200 units were sold there, which brings us to 700 units. And a second permanent markdown was taken to $99. And we see that 500 units were sold, leaving us with 200. All right, so moving through the problem, $150 minus $129.99, that was our first permanent markdown. The markdown value is $20.01 times the unit on hand, 18,009. Then we move to the second markdown, 129 to 99. That's a difference of $30 times 700 units on hand, reaches 21,000. So we add the total markdown dollars to reach 39,009. Now we take a look at retail dollars of 150 times 100 to give us 15,000. So now we're moving into calculating total sales. 129.99 times 200, 99 times 500. We take those total sales and we add them to reach the figure of 90,993. So we need the total markdown in dollars, and we need the total sales in dollars to receive the markdown percentage. So at the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see those two figures, 39,009 divided by 90,993 times 100 to give us the markdown percentage of 42.9%. Note that on your exam, you could indicate that it was 43%. We round to the nearest percentage. All right, that was section 2.4 and video 1 of our lecture. We will be posting video 2 for 2.5.